Hey everyone, thank you again for joining me today on day 9 of this 30-day video challenge. I do have to apologise for the lack of background scenery changing. Um, for me at the moment it's either foot up on a chair at the table or foot up on a pile of cushions on the couch. So that's going to be my scenery for the next 6 to 8 weeks, but I apologise that your scenery here with me is not really changing that much. But yeah, not a whole lot I can do, I'm sorry. But thank you for giving me the privilege of being able to maybe sprinkle a little bit of shininess into your lives each day as I share a little bit with you and we get to know each other a bit better. It's been a real privilege so far, and I can't wait to see what the next 21 days brings. So today I just wanted to touch on forgiveness. I feel like sometimes maybe when I'm talking about the fact that I have turned my time of being in an abusive relationship or my illness or any of those kind of negatives into a positive, that if you are stuck in that initial rawness or that ongoing ouchiness of a situation like that, that might just seem irrelevant to you, or it might just seem like something that maybe I could do but that you couldn't because it's too difficult or just, yeah, can't comprehend at the moment. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of maybe an insight into the whole world of forgiveness. It is something that you do need to feel ready for. So I'm not suggesting that it's always going to come easy, but there will be a time when you can look back in retrospect and put things into perspective or put a positive spin on things. And I just would like to say that the earlier that you can do that for yourself, the better it is. Because again, while I always do come back to nutrition being a really, really core concept of having fantastic health, it is just as important to have healthy relationships that build you up and support you and make you feel like you can be the star that you're all bound and destined to be. And it is very important that you give your body the exercise or the movement that it needs, and that your brain feels fulfilled and is forever learning and growing, and that you're always inspired, and all of those things are all major contributors to your health as well as managing your stress. And I will touch on more of my tools on managing stress and things in future episodes, because that's a major thing that people think is not such a big deal but really does have a big impact on your health. But also holding on to bitterness and holding on to anger is something that also will severely affect your health, whether it's from something that's happened a long time ago that you're not really reliving every day, but is just there in your soul's footprint, I suppose. If you haven't worked through that and you're still carrying that around, that is deep within you somewhere, still causing you a bit of toxicity. And wherever there's toxicity, there's going to be some negative effects in your whole nervous system and your body system, which will then in turn affect your health. So I'm going to move through a few quotes today, because I've just had some amazing tools in learning myself about forgiveness. But I will never forget something that was said on an Oprah show. It wasn't Oprah, but I hate the fact that I can't remember who it was. But they said that the key to forgiveness is giving up the hope that the past could be any different. For me, that was a really goosebumpy wow moment, because I think that's where you get stuck a lot of the time, is in just wishing things away. Now I talk a lot about forgiving my ex for what he put me through, but sometimes you inadvertently put other people through things too. And sometimes it may be intentional, sometimes it's very much not an intention of yours at all. It's just that we're all very complicated souls and we're all trying to move around each other, and sometimes you just accidentally bump into one another and rub each other the wrong way, or do something that does end up causing somebody else some hurt. So, it can go either way, but in turn, if you have done something wrong by somebody else, intentionally or otherwise, or unintentionally, you also need to work through forgiving yourself as well. So I just thought that that was an amazing kind of revelation, to just go, wow, if you actually put the brakes on and stop wishing that the past could have been any different, or giving up hope that the past could have been any different, which logically it can't be, you can't change it. Is just an amazing kind of freeing feeling to just go, that is what it is. So, let's put it aside. I don't think that forgiving somebody for what they may have done wrong by you is condoning their behaviour. or dishonouring the hurt that you endured. I think forgiving them is actually a part of honouring yourself, and it's a part of self-love and self-respect that you need to go, okay, it made me feel horrible, and I don't think that they had maybe the best intentions for me, or maybe they did just misunderstand me, but either way, it's not doing you any good to carry it around anymore. So yeah, I just think that that is a really good thing to think about, is that, yeah, hoping for the past to have been any different is a bit fruitless, really. Um, Another thing that I used to grapple with a lot in my relationship was that I used to think that all I'm doing is trying to be a good partner to him. I'm loving him. I'm trying to cook him beautiful meals. I'm trying to think of amazing things to do together on the weekend. I'm trying to show him love in every single way that I can think of, and every way that I know how he will feel loved. Yet I'm still getting it wrong, and I used to always have that real kind of feeling of it's unfair. It's unfair. Like, how can I be treated so badly when all I'm doing is trying to treat him well? So something that I've also read in the past is that if you expect the world to be fair with you because you are fair, you're fooling yourself. That's like expecting the lion not to eat you because you didn't eat him. Um, that's, yeah, another one that kind of was a bit of a wow moment for me. Was like my another good friend of mine had said to me once, you can be the sweetest peach in the world, but not everybody likes peaches. So it's nice to try and carry yourself through the world and try and treat other people as fairly as you can. But I think it's a good lesson to learn that that doesn't necessarily guarantee that you will be treated back just as fairly, just because you didn't eat them doesn't mean that they're not going to eat you. Didn't want to get that the wrong way around. So I think that was a really good lesson for me as well, that sometimes it actually just doesn't matter how well you treat somebody else. They, for whatever reason, may see it right or see it fit or be doing all that they know how to do and end up treating you unfairly, and that is just something that you have to go, okay, yeah, I'll wear it. It's not actually a fair sort of system where you get back what you give, unfortunately. And it's also worth bearing in mind that if a person tells you that you've hurt them, you don't get to decide whether you did or not. So sometimes that's what I meant about it's also got to come back to you as well, that you can try and walk through this world and treat people as well as you can and have the best intentions in the world, but sometimes you stuff it up. Sometimes you get it wrong. Sometimes you do things out of fear, and you do get a bit of a jealousy thing going on or a bitterness thing going on, and you might treat somebody intentionally badly because you feel hard done by them or threatened by them or whatever. Like, all of us are human. So I think it's, yeah, an honourable thing to do, that if somebody actually turns around and says that you've hurt them, you don't get to decide whether you have or not. You just get to actually look them in the eye and apologise for them feeling that way, and hope that you can maybe have some healing there. And good old Buddha, who said some amazing things. Buddha and Rumi are two philosophers, I suppose, that I just go back to all of the time, and all of their quotes have just got infinite wisdom. And so my final quote today is that Buddha says, holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. So that kind of was another thing that really, really helped me, was to go, well, he doesn't know that I'm sitting here 24/7 seething or crying or being, really, really mad and unforgiving towards him. He's on with his life, doing whatever. So it's just so much kinder for yourself. Why should you have all of that toxicity running around in your system when the other person's getting on with their life? It doesn't do you any good. So I just like to look at it now in more of a fierce, determined fighter kind of way, and just go, right, this person has held power with me for long enough, and they're not going to have that power anymore. Maya Angelou, who is another lady who will crop up at some stage because I've read all of her books and think she was an amazing, inspiring woman, wrote a poem called I Still Rise, and Still I Rise, sorry. And Ben Harper sang a song that was quoting that as well, which is well worth checking out on YouTube. That is, you can shoot me with your words and cut me with your eyes, but still like the dust I rise. And it's an amazing sort of uplifting, inspiring poem that is worth a read. But that's how I like to turn it around now, is just with determination, just go, no, this is not going to beat me, and you're not going to have control over me for longer than you already had, and I'm going to move on with my life and make it beautiful and peachy and amazing, and that is my wish for all of you. So I just hope that this gives you a little bit of insight into maybe how you can turn these things around and how you can maybe start to work through some forgiveness for your own sake more than anything else. So take this love, this sunshine, and this happiness with you today, and have an amazing day. Love to all of you, and see you tomorrow. Bye.